back again, stirring up hate and discontent. This goes out to all 2 of you who will watch this. Congrats for torturing yourself. I was going to do a quick update yesterday, which was Sunday, and it was going to be kind of a personal deal, give you some updates personal-wise and all that crap, and I felt ridiculous, so I went ahead and deleted it. Besides, almost saw a wreck. No one really gives a flying flip about my personal updates anyway. We'll go out on record saying, if you have a way I can clear $100,000 real quick, I'd greatly appreciate that. I got some major repair work I need to do on the barns, thanks to my great uncle who was an alcoholic for many years. If you can help me out in that regards, let me know. Let's see, the big kerfluffle that and I guess I pronounced that right, I'm going to talk about is, here it is, getting down to the wire, and Donald Trump's still having issues with people to perform. And I know there's a lot of people knocking the performers who have backed out, or refused to do it, or wanting to do it. And I've got to give a shout out to Toby Keith. I mean, he's blatantly said he's going to do it no matter what. And I know he probably doesn't like Trump based on some of the stuff I've seen in the past from him. But he's pointing out he's performed for Bush, he's performed for Obama, he's going to do it anyway in the name of love of country. So I can get that. And I'm sure he's getting a lightning rod like everyone else, probably even getting some death threats for doing it. But he's standing up and doing what he believes in. And whether you agree with him or not, whether you like Trump or not, whatever, you gotta admire someone willing to stand up and say it's not a matter of whether or not he agrees with the guy or not. It's up to his personal beliefs and patriotism and yada yada yada. And the thing we have to remember is, in the entertainment industry, your hands are kind of tied, and you have to listen to your fan base. If your fan base don't want you to do something, you don't do it, because that can kill your career. So I can understand why those who didn't want to do it, at least some of them, why they did it, or didn't do it, or why they backed out. And I can understand why the fan base is saying, no, don't do this, because, they're entitled to their opinions, and, they can voice their opinion. That's how it works. That's how the system works. The fan base is the consumer. The entertainer is the supplier. What I don't like is the fact that there are people going around making threats. If you don't like Trump, that's fine. You are entitled to that. And if you don't like your favorite performer performing for him, I'm fine with that too. I'm fine with you even voicing it. What I'm not fine with is when you have to go around making threats of violence and yada yada, all that bull crap. Let me give you just a general guideline. If you can't make your point, if you cannot make your case without making threats of violence or resorting to violence, being belligerent in nature, being a complete and total asshat, yes, I know, I cuss. It's not very intellectual if you cuss. Well, I'm trying to be nice, but some people make that impossible. If you cannot refrain from being of a bellicose nature, look it up, in order to get your point across, I think you need to reconsider your point and what you're trying to portray. And I think this is fitting given this is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Because there were people in the civil rights movement who resorted to violence to get their way. On both sides. Make no beef about it. It wasn't just the evil racists that were violent. There was violence on both sides. Guess what? The ones who are violent, your Black Panthers, you're not going to find very many names in the history books or common history. The reason being, acts of violence and threats of violence didn't win the civil rights movement. They lost it for the racist movement, but it didn't win it for those fighting for equality. True fact, what won it was patience, calm head, and your civil discourse, It's really hard, if you have someone there being peaceful, minding their own business, and you have to go out and attack them, it's really hard to justify your case when you're getting there attacking people doing nothing wrong. It really is. It is, however, really easy to make your case if you're sitting there doing nothing wrong and people just walk up and start attacking you. It's really easy to persuade others that you're in the right that way. And really, truthfully, it's like when I was a lowly political science major in my first semester, I was told the president's greatest power is the power of persuasion. Well, let's say by the same token, in the civil movement, the greatest power the leader of that civil movement can have, or any movement really, is the power of persuasion. And what act of persuasion can you get if you have to resort to violence? How persuasive is your point or the points that you're trying to make? See, if you have to resort to violence, what you're doing, you're not making your point. You're using intimidation factors to bully others into following you out of fear. It's not out of respect. It's not because you're right. Heck, it's possible to be right, but simply because of the way you go about making your case be completely wrong. Let that sink in. It is possible to be right in all fronts, but be completely and totally wrong. And yeah, there's a time and a place to roll up your sleeves, get your hands dirty, and fight. You can do it in self-defense. You can do it in defense of others. If you see someone oppressing others, yeah, it's perfectly fine to stand up and fight back to defend those who are being wronged. It's not right to use coercion to force your beliefs on others. And I don't care who you are. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care what gender you are, what religion you are. If you have to resort to violence to make your case, chances are you're wrong. If you have to resort to threats or any other intimidation factor to make your case, you're wrong. And I see it all the time on here. Not just in the real world, not just online, but YouTube, you name it. There are channels who, that's what they dedicate themselves to, is fear-mongering and trying to intimidate others to get their way, to scam people, to lie. You're wrong. And the worst part is, some of them hide behind religion. They will pray. They will quote Bible verses. Quite frankly, some of the biggest cons I've ever seen hide behind a cross. So I don't go to church anymore. It's not because I'm magically atheist or anything else. It's because I got tired of the hypocrisy of it all. The backbiting, the you name it. And it's funny, they go around, they quote, the Father, the Father. And they may write some little crappy poem about, some religious issue to bolster people. But let me tell you something. And I'm going to do something I usually don't do. I'm going to hit on religion. If you go around praying for the harm of others, wishing the harm on others, and then turn around and read from the Bible, I've got 2 words for you. And if you got sensitive ears, turn away. And I know this got me a little riled up under the collar. And I'm going to use language I don't do very often, and I try not to do, and I don't like doing it. It's not very Christian. But if in one breath you openly pray for the harm, to do harm unto others, and then sit there and preach, quote the Bible and everything else, I've got 2 words for you. Fuck you. Because if you actually read the Bible, it don't tell you to go around doing that. And I've done it too, and I know I'm a hypocrite. And I've really, truthfully, only done it a handful of times. Mainly on people who've been going around harming people. Using any kind of leverage, any kind of power they have to try to make others miserable to further their own agenda. And it was still wrong. And I know it's wrong, and there's a part of me who regrets it. There's a part of me glad. But when I do, I had to partition that if I'm right. Give them a chance first to give them a warning to turn away, and then if they refuse, let them be punished. And I'll throw in, if I'm wrong, let me know, and smack me upside the head. And I'm aware that I will get run the risk of the same punishment being upon me. But the thing is, sometimes I see the punishment come to others. Sometimes I don't. But then again, I don't hear you're wrong either. I'm not trying to toot my own horn by any means. And yeah, I need to work on my temper, and I need to work on a lot of things. But you don't see me going around posting all over online, wishing harm on anyone who disagrees with you, attacking anyone who disagrees with me. If you disagree, I'll try to be civil with you. I just ask you to do the same to me. Because I don't believe you make your case by being uncivil. So I'm going to ask everyone here, I'm going to get back off the religion topic, spend a little time doing a little self-examination. Do you go through life trying to be belligerent? Or do you try to be a better person? Do you try to be civil? Do you try to be patient? Do you try to be kind? Even when you're faced with those who attack you, do you try to be patient, civil, and kind? I know I fall short. What about you? Are you at least trying to do better? Do you want to do better? Just a little something to chew on. Anyway, I'm about home now. I'm going to get off here, and to the two people out there who probably might have finished this video, kudos. Let me know what you think. Later.